So what I'm struggling right now with is I want to get injection running in iOS application development. This gives hot reloading to iOS development, and I already installed the project. Wait a minute, I have to switch off my. So I already have installed the inject application, and I also set up the folder that should be managed, controlled, but for some strange reason it doesn't work, and now I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I have the package, and I also have here the linker flags, and if I run the application now and see if I get it working, it doesn't work. For some strange reason it doesn't work. Open recent. It doesn't work. It should print out, you can see it here, it should print out connection, and oh, it's working. Maybe I have to reinstall. Maybe I have to try to get this again. So I open the App Store and search for injection. Ja. Bald. 20 Minuten. Nee. Einfach so. Okay. So it doesn't work. Do I have newest version? I guess so. Wait a minute, I have to disable audio for a moment. How do I do that? Okay, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't connect these applications. And I have no idea why. So it should. So what should happen is when I use inject here, so I have it in my project, inject major, and it should also be, as I added it, yeah, it is in the frameworks libraries embedded content list. So when I use it in the formulas coordinator, it should automatically connect. So somehow this doesn't work here. Help, maybe help can help. So what is wrong here? Getting started. To use injection, download the app. Then you need add. Yes. So this shouldn't be needed when I use the inject package. For some strange reason it doesn't work. So it looks like that the inject app doesn't realize is not connected to Xcode for some strange reason, and I don't know why. So maybe I have to start Xcode again. I don't know. And if this doesn't work, then I guess the stream is already over. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we can do it then without the stream, without inject. But this would have been such a nice addition to my workflow because it enables fast iterations on the user interface. So it doesn't work. For some strange reason, the inject app is not connected. And I don't know why. So let's go back to the inject package. Initial developer setup once per machine. Did that. Codified by the simulator. Of all targets in your project for the configuration. Codified by the simulator SDK to avoid. Oh, okay. So did I put it into the development? Build phase. Build phase project settings. So other compiler flags. Yeah, linker flags. Other linker flags. That's okay, correct. And this is correct. Of all targets in your project for the debug configuration. All project? All targets in my project. Qualified by the simulated SDK to avoid compilation with bitcode. Is there a new version on the GitHub page? Okay, there's a beta version because of Ventura and Xcode 14. This one is, I guess, the one I have. Not sure what to make with that. Okay. Applications. This is the one. And injection application. Open project. Open recent from menu. Pick the right workspace. So it should work, but it doesn't. That's strange and annoying. So what happens if I add this linker flags to all the other targets? And this one. It's a really old project. It started in 2009. So maybe this could also be a problem here, that the structure of the project, the structure of Xcode project changed and therefore it doesn't work. Okay, so we don't get any injection running here. Oh, wait a minute. I actually had to go into this code to make it work. Oh yeah, that was a stupid mistake. So let's run it again and see if injection works now. So we have the table of elements, and now let's change something we know the result of. We change that back again to no, sorry, I meant to use the environment overrides and put that to accessibility medium, and now we re-enable this code and save. Yeah, so this is then injected. So what happens in the background, the injection app I started monitors all the time the files of this project, and then whenever something changes, it compiles and injects it into the running app. So if I disable here again this line of code, save, and everything is working here. So okay, so now we can work on our issue while the app is running, and we see if we make progress or maybe even do something worth, make something worse. So we have here 3 labels, and this is a host view that is colored, and on top of that view is a stack view. So if you see here, if I change the color of this to blue, okay. This doesn't work because the color is changed here again, I guess. Yeah. So if we make the color here, abbreviation host view background color equal to blue. Yeah, everything is blue. So this is the abbreviation host view. Can delete that, and we can go back to maybe fixing the problem. I worked on this problem yesterday already, but oh wait a minute, I share the link to Twitter. Maybe someone wants to join and watch me struggling. I only have a few minutes left, so I can't really fix the problem now, I guess, but I can maybe work in the right direction. So the problem that's causing this, what we see here, is if you have a look at the view debugger, we have a stack view here, and those elements are in the stack view. And when we switch to the accessibility dynamic types, we change the axis of the stack view to vertical, and before that it's horizontal. So if we have a content size for the text that's not an accessibility size, then it's horizontal stack view, and otherwise it's a vertical stack view to make room for all that information, because the font is getting bigger. So let's see. This here, the alignment center is responsible for these views not be large enough. Yesterday I already tried to add here a name label, content compression resistance priority. Oh no, wait a minute, that's wrong. Set content compression resistance priority to required for the horizontal axis. When I do that, it still doesn't work. I don't know why. It should have some. Okay. Doesn't change anything. That's strange. Okay, but What this should do is that it tells the name label that it's not allowed to get, oh okay, when I scroll the labels down there, okay-ish. So these are not reloaded. What if I go back here? Still doesn't work. This is strange. So the text should be shown in its full length when we use this compression resistance. This doesn't work. I already figured out yesterday. No, let's remove that line. You can remember to add it if you want to try it again. I remember when I tried it yesterday. If I remove this center alignment, then why is reloading not working? It should reload, I guess. Okay, so the hot reloading doesn't work as I expected to do. So let's see, we have the environment override and switch it to accessibility. So now the text is shown correctly, but the colored square is way too big. So we need to fix that. We need to change the size of this square somehow. And this is also something I tried yesterday already, and I failed. So what I could do is I could make the square smaller again, but then the text wasn't shown correctly anymore. So not sure what to do with this. So what I would like to have is a rectangle that's big enough to show the content, but not bigger, and that should be placed in the middle of the cell, horizontal middle of the cell. So what I could do, I could add another stack view, or I could try to add this to another view. So I rename this here. I don't know if renaming works with injection, but we will see. So I rename this to colored view. Oh, this is the wrong one. I don't want to rename that. I want to rename this one. So do the rename. I want to call that colored host view. Colored abbreviation. Colored background. Colored square view. Yeah, we do that. If we figure out a better name for that, we can use that instead later on. So now we want to add that to to a host view. So we use a host view. We host view. We add the colored square view to that host view, and we tell the colored square view, and it should translate authorized masks to constraints should be false, because we want to do the layout. And now we use the host view instead of the colored square view. And for some strange reason, it still works. It should be broken now because we don't have the matching constraint. So let's rerun it. So somehow the injection doesn't work for this kind of changes. Maybe it's because of the table view. Yeah, this is what I expected. So the colored view doesn't tell its super view how it would like to be positioned. There are no constraints, and so everything is broken. Okay. So what happens if we tell the layout system that the colored square view should be positioned, let's see, it should have a top constraint, a top anchor equal to the host view top anchor, and it should also have a bottom anchor equal to the host view bottom anchor. And we would also like to position it vertically centered, I guess. Colored square view center X anchor constraints equal to the host view centered X anchor. What happens if we run the application now? Yeah. So this layout now is completely broken. I've seen this yesterday already, but this layout is kind of okay. We have to change the padding inside of this stack view on top of the colored view later on, but for now it's okay. We can work with that to fix all these other issues. So this is nice for the accessibility. Okay, it's also not shown all the content. We have to fix that out as well. But for the normal layout, I would like to remove the space next to the colored view. If we look up the view in the view debugger, we see that this is the host view we just added. And it does exactly what we asked it to. It positions it on above and below, so there's an anchor above and below, at the top and at the bottom, and it's centered vertically. But the stack view decides that the view with the colored square should take all that space that it needs, and the other ones just show the space that is left. No, this should not take that much space. We have fixed the accessibility layout for the accessibility sizes, but we destroyed the other layout. So this is not acceptable. We have to fix that somehow. So one thing we could do to fix that is to so when we add constraints, a leading constraint also to the host view, and a trailing constraint. So there's something missing. Leading anchor. Trailing anchor, and if we run it now again, then we should have some constraint issues for the normal. No, the normal layout works again, but for the accessibility size classes, for the accessibility dynamic types, it also works, but no, it doesn't work anymore. So this is ignoring the. No, it's not ignoring. It's exactly what we ask it to do, and then there's no issues in the output. So the layout is correct, but it's not what we want. We only want this leading and trailing constraints when we are not in the size of the text for the accessibility feature. the accessibility sizes for the dynamic type. And we can do that with a property, private var. It needs to be a var property. Leading color, or color view, color view leading constraint, and it's an NS layout constraint. And it has to be an optional because we set it after the initialization is done. Private var colored view trailing constraint and layout constraint. It also needs to be an optional, and we can set it up before we add before we activate the constraints. So we set it up to be what I like to do is, because dealing with optionals in the layout code is bad and doesn't make sense. So I use a local variable with the same name and set that up, and then we don't have an optional here. And also the same for the trailing constraint. For the other layout constraint. So, and we use that instead of the one we used down below. Here we go. And here we go. Okay, so now that we have, we have to set that up for to the properties. Self colored leading constraint is colored leading constraint. Self colored trailing constraint is colored trailing constraint. And now when we check for the accessibility category, we can disable those constraints. So colored leading is active false, and colored we are trailing, and now colored leading is active false. Also need the optional chaining here. Okay, and we use those two lines to activate. So injection, I don't know if it worked. Let's see if we change the size. Okay, I don't know if this is a problem of my code or if injection didn't work, so let's see. So this looks good. We changed the types. Oh, that looks good again. Okay, good. One problem is still there. The label here, it's squashed when we don't have enough room for the content, and the reason for that is that we have a greater than or equal to constraint. Wait a minute. Okay, so maybe it is enough when we add an abbreviation label compression resistance priority of required for the axis vertical, and also the same for the ordinal label. Maybe this is enough. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. We change the size of the text again. Yeah. That's good. Oh, that's nice. This is what I wanted to achieve today. That's great. I expected that we need more time to fix that. As I said, I already worked on that problem yesterday and failed. So I already did some work on that for at least 1 hour and it didn't work. So I deleted everything I had changed and then tried it today again. So this is nice. So I fixed a layout issue. It's still not the best layout. I give you that. So I should work on the layout more than to improve the layout. But it's better than it was before, because before the text wasn't shown correctly. If you remember, we had here, maybe it's broken again if I reactivate the center alignment of the stack view. Yeah, this is where we started. This was the problem we started with, and with all those layout constraints and all this layout code we added, we are now at the position where it now works. Now, for some strange reason, injection doesn't work on that. Okay, so table of contents and no, table of elements. And now we change to the accessibility sizes and everything is at least visible. Not perfect. Maybe it would be better to make this leading or something. I don't know. Oh, that should be easy. So let's try that. If we just remove the deactivation of the leading constraint here, this should give us enough to make it also leading. And this might look a bit better. Oh, no. Okay, this is not enough. Oh, I know. Oh, yes. Okay. I have also a center constraint, and therefore when I pin it to one edge, it's bigger because it is also centered. Let's see if this helps if we remove the center constraint altogether. Yeah, nice one. I guess this is something I could put into the App Store, even if it's not perfect, but it is way better than it was before. Okay, this is for now. I will now stop the stream because I don't have time to work on the app anymore. But I am planning to maybe stream things like that, coding sessions, small problems, bug fixing, something like that in the future. So if this is something that's interesting for you, maybe you can subscribe to get notified when I'm streaming again. And please tell me what you think about that. Please tell me if you know why the injection didn't work. Because I would like also have injection working in this special case where I have a table view. For some strange reason, I have seen it working on table views, so I already used it on table views, but for some reason it doesn't work here. I don't know. If you know why, leave a comment. If you have something to say about this code, about what I did there, leave a comment. If you have a question, leave a comment. I try to answer all your questions. And I'm not sure if I'm streaming next week or something, but I plan to do this more often than I did in the past, just to, get the hang of it, to show you what I'm up with, to get feedback from you, how I could improve my debugging, for example. See you then. Bye.